Hi everyone, I'm Todd C. Slater and welcome to this edition of SITV. So I'm really excited to talk to you today about retirement and retirement savings. Now, one of the things, of course, is that we do a lot of research on this particular topic because in investment real estate, we really like to talk about it being part of your actual pension plan. What can investment real estate do for you? But first, one of the things that I like doing is I like searching a lot of the business papers and finding out what people have to say. Fortunately, there was a great article in this week's Star, and it was by Professor Milevsky out of the York University. And it was interesting because there's a couple things that were covered, and I'd like to talk about that today. First and foremost is how much money do you need to save so you'll have a good income during your retirement? So let's forget about pension plans just for a second. A lot of times Canadians, 68% of them will not end up retiring with a pension. So that means that you're going to have to do your own. So that could be self-directed RSPs, things that you're working towards, or actually paying into your own pension. So these are people that are employed that do not have a pension plan with their current employer. So 68% of Canadians. Now, moving forward, let's figure out a few numbers. One of the things that Professor Milevsky did cover is that if you are currently 45 years of age, you have now approximately 20 years left to work. Now, that's bearing the idea that you are going to retire at the age of 65. Now, the question is, after the age of 65, how long are you going to live? And of course, we're hoping that all Canadians are starting to live longer. So let's use the actual age of 90. So let's say right now we have a 45-year time period to look at. Now, if your after-tax dollars are coming in at approximately $75,000, and this is after tax, that means that you're going to have to be putting X number of dollars away. So what is that number? Well, if you want to have consistent living over the next 45 years, keeping in mind the rate of inflation, you may have to turn around and only live on approximately $33,000 a year. Now, this is based on the fact that over the next 20 years, you're going to be able to take after-tax dollars, being $1.5 million that you're going to be able to put away. Now, again, that's your income for the next 20 years. What are you going to live on after that? Now, of course, we can talk about CPP, which can top up some of your retirement, old age pension, things like that. But at the end of the day, if we're looking at your actual lifestyle, what can you live on? Now, of course, there's been the rule of thumb, try putting away 10% of your income every single year. Even that's difficult because when you take a look at your after-tax dollars, you have to wonder how much do you actually have left over. So this is where investment real estate starts to step in. What's going to happen over the next 25 years? So if we take a look at your typical amortization of an investment property, we know that in what the banks have set up is that it'll take 25 years to pay down a mortgage. So let's hypothetically say that you actually have a little bit of excess cash right now and you're able to buy an investment property with 20% down. If you're buying in the purchase price of somewhere around $100,000 to $150,000, that means that currently you're going to put down anything between $20,000 and $30,000. Of course, you're going to have some closing costs, so we have to probably factor in another $3,000 to $5,000. Now, moving forward from there, we can now turn around and equate how much we're going to end up with at the end of the actual amortization. So we're going to have an entire unit paid off. 25-year amortization, 25 years from now, there'll be no debt on the property. The property will have gone up in value. And if we use a 2% increase on whatever you've purchased, your asset could be in excess of $200,000. So that's basically taking $20,000 and making it into a $200,000 asset. But here's where it gets even a little bit more interesting. We can now turn around and look at a positive cash flow, potentially between $800 and $1,000 per month. We now have between $10,000 and $12,000 worth of income coming from that $20,000 investment. Now, of course, this was not some numbers that Professor Milevsky put together. This is actually just straightforward amortization calculation of a mortgage, how it pays down, and investment real estate. So if we look at investment real estate, it really does have a potential of helping you for the future. So how much money are you going to be able to save? Well, that's the question that only you can answer. So don't forget to join us October 24th for our next simple seminar, and I'm going to be able to cover and expand on more of this. I'm Todd C. Slater. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.